Hello, dear our subscribers, and at first, initially, I should introduce myself to our favorite subscribers. And I myself had been studying here for 1 year with my good teacher who named Ali teacher, and that person taught me how to become, as you see, fluent in English. And as you see the progress, I'm making a good progress in speaking good English. And I have already started here working with my good teacher, and I'm learning also some of the key and significant ways of teaching good English. And for today's lesson, to our dear subscribers, I just want to crave to give you some the most advanced techniques to solve and make the reading skills more easy to everyone that wish and have a dream to solve more questions from reading skills, from reading. And I should mention that today's topic is a bit hard and difficult, as you see, because a lot of people in our country, not also in our country, but through the world, have a hard time to solve those reading questions. And with that mind, I just want to make and to handle and to make it easy for everyone. Let's see, why do so many people have a tragic and have a problem to solve their questions? Because they misunderstand the concept, the essence, the meaning of the real reading questions. Because even if myself until this time have misunderstood the real concept of what the reading is, and after having the real experience of the reading, I analyzed and understood that to solve, not to be able to quickly solve and to be able to really solve those hard questions, you have to clearly understand what you are reading about. If you don't know what you're reading about, you can find the answer. Because if you don't know my name, you can call by my name. That's easy. And as I see, there are two main techniques and ways that are very common in our country, not also in our country, but outside of country. And two important ways of the reading techniques are to understand firstly the question itself, and then make our head ready how we can find its paraphrasing and how we can find its meaning from the text given. And then we should just I think we should take a paper of the real exam, and it was a much easier to do, because if I opted the more harder, then it will be more harder for you and for me to understand, because our recent learners might confuse if we work with difficult reading questions. And so that I myself chose to do with easy questions. And today's reading topic is about future of money. That's the easy thing, because here it says, and the type of question that I want to work with today is the heading. Because the reason why I decided to work with heading is because many people have a hard time to solve with that kind of hard problems. And for example, heading, and to start the questions, I should also mention that we should be aware of how to work with heading questions, because if we don't know the general rules, then we might also confuse with working them. To work with headings, we shouldn't be looking at the headings firstly, but we should be looking at the introductions and at the end of those, and not those, but each paragraph, because as you see, I give you an example. is the start of my speech today. I was initially speaking about myself, not about the future of money, about the text, so that the text itself will just introduce himself, and then he gives main points. And after having been familiar with the introduction, then you get the main point. That after you got the main point, that is the idea of the text. You got it? Yeah, you did it. And then, as you see here, the paragraphs A to E. But we have 9 headings. You see, the number of headings listed here are more than the text headings put here. And as we see, the first one is given for us to get familiar. For example, in one of America's poorest cities, a new use of technology has been attracting attention. That's kind of things. The first heading has already been remained for us, and we will work from the seconds. In the game, winning players receive bonds, which they can then exchange for banknotes of Macan money. These notes can be spent at local shops and businesses, but the game is not as simple as it sounds. Each person receives just half a bond and must find the person with the other half so that they can spend it. People often find the other half by searching for them on the social networking sites, Facebook and Twitter. Matching players then meet in person to redeem the bond and get the Macan money. The bond range in value from 10 to 100. And also, I forgot to refer you that after analyzing, after finishing reading the text, you should give yourself a question. Do I understand what I did read? And then, what did you read will begin as a main idea on the questions list. Then you can choose, then you can find the good and right answer. For example, here it says, we have, as I say, 9 headings. For example, the first one, a game that makes money. A game that makes money. If I'm not mistaken, this text is not about the game that makes money. No, we will put it cross. And the second one, investigation of financial benefits. Investigation of financial benefits. Not here is not says some kind of financial benefits, some kind of financial aids, and that one. The creation of unusual partnerships. Unusual partnerships. No. And here we have right answers. The way the game works. The way the game works. Why I had chosen myself this answer is because that here it explains how the game works. For example, in the first introduction of the paragraph, in the game, winning players receive bonds, which they can then exchange for banknotes of Macan money. These notes can be spent at local shops and businesses. As you see, from the start of this paragraph, the paragraph is telling about how this starts and how the game will start and what the game will be about and how it is used and this kind of things. It's easy as I speak easily to you to answer. If I had spoken with different and academic vocabulary, you wouldn't be understanding me, or you wouldn't even want me to listen. So I'm using as easy words as I know to understand you with easily. And for example, let's move on to our next paragraph. At first I read it out for you if you don't want to read by yourself. Payers might spend their money separately or do something together, like share a meal or give the money to someone who needs it more, says Billy Blake of Jones and James Knight Foundation, the non-profit group based in Miami, Florida, that funded the game. These are meetings and conversations that might not happen naturally at all, she said. The game's designers are hoping Macan money will bring members of the community together who wouldn't normally meet each other. As I already mentioned to you, before look at the question listed above, we should give ourselves a question. do I understand what I did and what I read? After having the general point of what the text was about, and then we can finally compare our ideas, our own ideas, what did we get from the from reading text, and then we compare it here with listed examples. And here, and as I said, we will read from the first, a game that makes money. No, here is not said as the game that makes money, and we will put it cross. And investigation of financial benefits. Financial benefits. No, even here in the text, it's not talking about some kind of money. The creation of unusual partnerships. The creation of unusual partnerships. If I'm not mistaken, it is relevant to the text because we have here some kind of synonyms. Because if we find the synonyms, we might find the right answer. Let's see here. And yeah, you see, pairs might spend their money separately, do something together, like share a meal or give the money to someone who needs it more. Here it says the pairs synonyms. Pairs means it's couples, or pairs means that partnerships. Partnerships with the pairs is the synonym. The creation of unusual partnerships. The creation of unusual partnerships. How can I explain to you? Because I have understood this text very well, so that I can do it in my mind. Here it says, the game will bring back many people who normally meet each other at many different places. So that here it says the creation of unusual partnerships. The purpose of game was to communicate and to make friends with lots of people who might not happen or might not meet with each other at all. Here it says from the first and the last sentence of this paragraph. And here, if I read it, the game's designers are hoping Makan Money will bring members of the community together who wouldn't normally meet each other. As you see, reading task is not as hard as you think. It's as easy as you think. Just think in your mind as easy as you think, then it will be reality as you see as easy in real life. Thank you for guys, and also don't forget to subscribe our main channels to be aware of the facts that we will submit our latest videos by our latest teachers. Thank you.